And welcome, everybody, to another edition of PTR Radio here on the fabulous interweb. That's right. We're back on our regular night. And, all we got to say is get ready, folks, for our 24-hour election night coverage. This is the warm-up to it. We can't wait for you guys to tune in and get our expert analysis of as the votes come in. Mike's going to be breaking it down district by district. And, what's interesting is how he's going to get to every district to put a man on the scene report. That's just going to be amazing.
You out your ever-loving mind. I
don't know how we got the travel budget for that, but that's, No, but I'm ready for it to be over. I'm so tired of political ads on television. As I think everybody is.
Yeah, my father today asked me, so you working tomorrow? And I'm like, yeah. I said, what's state holiday? And I'm like, what state holiday? It's election day. He's like, no, that's next week. And it's like, crap.
Yes, you have another You have another 7 days as they continue to barrage your television. Although I think it would be a good idea if we did a 7-day holiday from political ads leading up to the election. Can we get that somehow in the Constitution where they're not allowed to advertise on TV?
Are you kidding me? We can't even get them to not put their signs out. We got to fight with them and patrol the town to make sure that they don't put their signs out more than 30 days before the election. You want a week hiatus? Jesus.
Yes, I want a week moratorium.
So I was just saying today, I don't know what I was going to do for kindling when I start the fire pit. Why? Because we have not gotten any of those election postcard propaganda bullshit things. Not a one.
Oh.
So now that I've said it, they're all coming tomorrow. Because, plenty. Jersey's been collecting mail-in votes for a month now because anything is going to make a difference at this point.
Yeah. Well, we got plenty of those. Like we talked about on the last show, you get one from each candidate every day, saying that that guy's the idiot, that guy's the jerk. And
have you voted yet?
Huh?
Yeah. Have you voted yet?
Yeah, because we're mail-in vote only, so nothing was changing. But yes, I did.
I haven't yet, but I'm going to tomorrow. I will send in my ballot tomorrow because I'm mail-in vote as well. So it'll be done tomorrow.
I went in person like a month ago.
No, we actually took ours to the Board of Elections in the county and handed them in personally instead of dropping them in any kind of box or what have you. And
yeah. So my thing is, I voted. Go away.
Well, but the problem is they don't know you voted.
Okay, so now I start getting texts. So before I was getting texts from people going, hey, vote for whoever. Now I'm getting texts for, hey, can you send text to your friends and tell them, like, okay, not only are you annoying me by texting me on my phone, now you want me to annoy my friends by texting them too?
Yeah.
For a candidate that I did not vote for?
Yeah, neither one of those things are going to happen. Yeah. I was talking about it with a friend of mine. I get texts from my wife on my phone because she puts down my phone number for everything. So I get all the political texts meant for her on my phone. Well, he not only get texts intended for his wife on his phone, but for his father-in-law on his phone.
Oh, that'd be grounds for fight. Literally.
And he's like, it's not even a case where like they're on my family plan. They're on their own plan. He goes, I don't even know how they associated him with my number. But it obviously is like, hey, George. He goes, that's his name, not mine. It's not the same last name. It's nothing. It's just father-in-law. And I'm like, well, your father-in-law doesn't like you, and he signed your number up for a bunch of stuff. That's obviously what it is, because that's what I would do.
My favorite is if I answer the phone and they want J.C. Blair. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, he's dead. They're like, oh, we're sorry to hear that. I was like, well, it's been 42 years.
But thanks for bringing up the painful memory, you jerk. That's what I do.
Where is this list coming from?
Oh my God. Okay, so I got to tell this story because that reminded me, and this is hilarious.
Go ahead.
And I don't think my wife will mind me telling this story, but so my wife is watching Nate's Kid this week as well as or last week as well as our middle grandson, right? So they were sitting eating lunch, and Nate's child Harry didn't want to eat. All right, and so my wife got on his butt about eating. She's like, well, eat. And so he starts whining, going, I want my daddy. And so my wife says, well, I want my daddy too. My middle grandson, without missing a beat, goes, well, he's dead. Because my wife's dad did pass away a year ago. And I'm in the basement and I hear all this and I'm like, I felt bad, but I'm like, well, he's not wrong. I mean, and I told my wife the other night, I'm like, it's just, it's a kid being a kid. He doesn't know any better. She goes, oh, no, I know he doesn't know any better. But it was just funny to me. So, yeah. So I think I deal with that just a little bit differently than some other people. And I think I know what you're typing, Mike, and I got it.
I'm replying back to Teresa. Teresa's tuned in for first time in a while, and I do kind of agree. She says the only thing that needs to be banned from TV are the ASPCA commercials. Well, I do tend to agree with that.
Oh, wait, hold on. Simming hoo-ha. Have you seen the singing hoo-ha commercial, Mike?
Stop.
Have you seen it?
Stop it. No. What?
Yes. My wife hates this commercial. Colin, have you seen this?
No, I have not. Don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, you. Hold on. I will show you this. This is ridiculous. And it's got to be seen, unfortunately. So here, yeah, let's take a look at this.
What's that? I treated my yeast infection in 2 days with Fimiclear. Kills more yeast than Monostat, all natural and organic. So instead of chemicals, my hoo-ha is full of joy.
Fimiclear, joie de hoo-ha.
Yeah.
Oh my!
My wife thinks that should not be on the air.
Oh, I tend to agree because listen, there are going to be guys. No, not gonna do it. Not gonna say it. Not even gonna go there.
So, yeah.
But okay, speaking of commercials, though, that have made me happy. Nothing has made me happier than these Animaniac trailers coming out. Because I didn't even know Animaniacs was coming back.
Yeah, I have to agree. And
that Jurassic Park trailer is just one of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen any of these new trailers. So, are they on Quibi?
No, they're going to be on Hulu.
Okay. Well, nothing's going to be on Quibi soon.
If you go to YouTube and you search for Animaniacs Jurassic Park trailer, then that's the wonderful trailer I'm talking about.
Okay. I will. Yes. Hey, whoa! Who's
what?
That? Britain's oldest person died at 112 today.
Oh.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, it's okay. So yeah, Hulu original Animaniacs. I got it. Okay. So Mike, we need to start off the show right though, and we need to make ourselves a drink before we die of thirst.
Correct.
But I'm going to let you start off the drinking. So if you will let me start the transition, because I think I have a harder transition over to the bar tonight than I normally do. So I will let you go ahead and start off as we work our way to the bar.
All right. This damn ridiculousness. So tonight, keeping with my theme of only making drinks with whatever's in my kitchen refrigerator, I made the comment to Kimberly Saturday that I don't think we've ever had that much alcohol in the kitchen fridge in the entire time we've lived in this house. And her response was, well, pandemic. I said, yes, okay. So tonight, we've got an ounce and a half of the Bird Dog chocolate whiskey, which has become a perennial favorite mixer in these. And then way in the back of the fridge, I found the old favorite, the Old Faithful, the not really a whiskey, but it says whiskey, Fireball. So we have basically cinnamon chocolate here. And no, I don't know. I have no idea how this is going to go. Over ice, let's see. Oh, I hate my life.
Is it that bad?
Oh, God. I'll drink it, but thank God the ice is almost melted, because now I remember why that Fireball was all the way in the back of the fridge and untouched, because this is...
No bueno?
Mm-mm.
I like Fireball, but it has to be in... like Fireball and coffee is good. Fireball and things that need sweeteners. If you already have a chocolate whiskey, you really don't need more sweet.
This is the first epic fail we've had, but we drink it because, to not drink it would be alcohol abuse.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so tonight we are going to make rocket fuel. Figuratively and possibly literally. So in front of me, I have a large selection of booze, and all of it's going in. So, yes, all of this is going in. So if I don't make it to the second hour, this is why. Okay, so starting off, vodka.
What
1
the
ounce.
hell just happened?
What? Oh, I don't know. Good thing it's going away.
Let's try it one more time, though. Wait, hold on. Let me... Okay, something's messed up, because when I send from vMix, that's what's coming up.
Okay.
So when you get back, we can figure that out.
Yeah. Okay. Then triple sec or Cointreau, 1 ounce.
No, I'm not going to keep doing it.
Triple sec and Cointreau are two very, very different things.
They're interchangeable in this recipe, according to the recipe.
One adds more booze, the other doesn't.
Lies and fabrications.
1 ounce white rum. Don't use the spiced. They want the white.
Rum fumes. Don't breathe this.
1 ounce gin.
That's Shaggy's attempt at classing up the joint.
And then a new addition to the bar. 1 ounce tequila.
Cuero is barely considered tequila.
Well, I'm not a big tequila drinker. So, now.
Next time, get Terramana, you prick.
One other thing.
If you add limes, I'm going to be so mad at you.
No. Lemonade. 1.5 ounces. Okay. So that's that. I hate having this wired microphone, but it's only one that I had handy. Ice to chill.
A bartender would have put the ice in first, FYI.
Yeah. But we all know I'm not a professional.
I don't know why I'm doing the golf commentary while you're doing this.
Yeah, I don't know it either.
Stretching his wire so that he can attempt to get a chilled glass from the fridge, as if the chilled glass will make this taste any better.
Well, I already had ice in this glass so that I didn't have to do yet something else. Oh, perfect.
Teresa says, I can feel the acid in that cup from here.
Yep. Whew. That is strong. Very, very
What do you
strong.
expect? You put half the bar in that.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you want a short night, I suggest making yourself some rocket fuel. Because 2 or 3 of those, and you've called it a day. Oh, boy.
2 or 3.
Yeah, 2 or 3. Come on. That's 10 or 15 shots. Not a wussy. I mean, come on.
Wussy.
All right.
I am doing no alcohol because I hurt my back yesterday. And I'm taking some muscle relaxants for the first time here pretty soon after the show. So I don't want to interfere.
And I can tell you from personal experience, alcohol may increase the effectiveness of those drugs.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah.
Mama Blair just wrote in, said, boring. So we got to step it up, boys. Come on.
All right. Back to the studio. Oh boy.
So you still didn't set it up so that we could like see ourselves on those screens? Well, okay.
No, I did not.
Too busy looking up drinks, putting in the recipe maker. How much? What can I use with every liquor I have in my bar?
Actually, I have a really cool app. It's called My Bar, I think is what it's called, and it's show tutorial.
Yep, still not. Okay.
Yeah, it's called My Bar.
Teresa writes in, anti-seizure medications and booze don't mix. That is correct. That is correct. A lot of booze, a lot of medications and booze don't mix. Just a FYI.
Yeah.
Yeah, why is it running that one? That's weird. It should run the
So now it's getting cold, that I might finally pull up my next recipe for the next show, which will be hot buttered rum.
Okay.
One of these days, I will take time to actually
offline
investigate ahead of time and come up with a Christmas holiday. That's for sure. I can't promise you what they will be, but
yeah,
so we'll do hot drinks, warm drinks, and I'll put the recipes out ahead of time. So if y'all want to. Okay, so the more you drink this, the more tolerable it is.
Oh, well, yeah, that's usually the way that it works.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because usually I don't do that. If it's nasty, I'm either throwing it over my shoulder and somebody's going home with a sticky bat, or you want me to try?
Try it. Okay, no. It's still screwed.
All right, he's broken. I'll just have to.
He's
go
broke.
ahead and. Okay. Mama Blair is saying Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry.
I'll have to look that one up. Teresa's saying peppermint vodka and ginger ale. That would require me going out and buying peppermint vodka, but that might not be a bad. I might try that. Usually, I actually like a lot of different drinks, like with ginger, like Captain.
Mm-hmm.
Captain and ginger ale is pretty good. It tastes like cream soda. Amaretto and ginger ale is pretty good.
There we go.
What'd you do? Why you do that?
I know.
I
had to test it though.
Why you do my job?
I had to test it.
And no, I'm not trying to impersonate Bo Rat. All right, we gotta talk about Amazon because guys, I need help.
Okay.
I need serious help now. Prime Day, from what Colin, I didn't hear anything back from you, so I'm going to assume that Prime Day was a bust for you this year.
I barely even looked.
Yeah.
Shaggy, you said you didn't buy anything.
No, I didn't. No, there was nothing. You know, with the pandemic and the apocalypse going on, I didn't have. I've been buying everything all the time. You know, I get the regular mailman, I get the special delivery mailman, I get the FedEx man, I get the UPS man, I get, you know, sometimes I even get the DHL man. All right, there's no more delivery people that can stop here on a daily basis. I mean, I know them all.
So, my Prime Day orders. Where you going? Going to throw up from that drink, probably. And here's the sad part. I was actually up in Maine during Prime Day. So, okay. So, Prime Day.
Yep.
Let me just make sure here. So, October 13th and 14th. Okay, so I bought an Echo Flex because for $10 it was an Echo Flex and a smart light bulb.
Is that the one that just plugs into the wall directly?
Correct. And I put that out in my garage and ran a 3.5 to RCA cable out to the tuner that powers the speakers in the backyard and the garage. So now eventually I can get rid of the dedicated Sirius tuner that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I can also play Pandora or Amazon Music through all the speakers.
Yep.
So, I had that. Bought an additional 3-camera Blink outdoor system. I have the 3-camera XT2. The XT2 has now been replaced by the Blink outdoor. And along with that came basically a free Echo Show 5.
Yep, which I have one of those.
Because I have one right up here, and that's what told me that the oldest person in Britain died.
Yeah.
Bought a cat tower.
Why didn't you just build a cat tower?
Because I can't build a large cat tower with carpet and sisal for less than for the $20 that it was on Amazon.
But yours would have been better quality.
Yeah, well, I ain't got time for that.
The cats would have appreciated the craftsmanship.
Ain't got time for that. Also got a 3-pack of camera mounts and the sync module mount for the said cameras. A utensil drawer organizer.
Okay, gotta have that. Can't buy that anywhere else.
A 2-pack of garlic and sea salt grinders.
Okay.
And 3 hoodies.
Okay. It's a decent haul.
Far too much. I did not want... Oh, did I also... Oh, and measuring cups for my father-in-law.
Okay. Well, you know. But you had time to dedicate to it, though. I mean, you know, you were out there, you know, not doing much. just able to kind of camp on it. You know, they really need to move Prime Day to a weekend. You know,
so
that more people can
Mama
concentrate on it.
Mom Blair said she got a TV. Listen, I thought I almost did.
I
almost did. But I'm waiting for Black Friday.
I have an excess of TVs right now, which is something I never thought I'd say, but I have too many TVs.
Here's my big issue. In the basement, I have the 50-inch Panasonic Plasma, not smart TV, that barely gets used because we don't hang out down here.
Right.
And because it's a plasma, it's ridiculously heavy. And I have told Kim it will be sold with the house. We ain't taking it with us.
Yep.
The living room TV, I am starting to see. It's a Samsung. It's probably 6-7 years old. But that TV is literally on probably 12, 14 hours a day.
Yeah.
Because we leave it on during the day for the dogs. And it's starting to get vertical bars on the one side, like burn in kind of. I've decided I'm going to hold off until Black Friday because I have a feeling there's going to be a ton of deals online then.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's also an last generation Samsung Smart TV, so a lot of the apps are not available on it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
What Mama Blair got was a Toshiba Amazon TV.
4K?
Oh, a Fire TV. Okay.
Yeah, the one that has the Fire TV built into it. It has Dolby Vision and HDR and all that fun stuff.
See, I'm much more a Roku. If I'm going to pick one with a built-in thingy, I'm going to go Roku TV because I just think the interface is easier. I like a Roku TV.
Roku too, but I think the Amazon TV interface is much easier for them. So we tend to stay. The point was that they needed to have one remote that they could pick up the remote and watch TV and get to all the different apps of all the different places where they can get TV from, and not have to get me to come and turn the TV on for them.
Well, you can do the same thing with a Roku TV.
Yeah,
you know, I think it depends on. I think it depends on how you start your life too. Like once you get into an ecosystem, you're very much in that ecosystem.
So here's my question: with the Fire TV, can you tell Alexa to tune to a channel, or do you need does the ecosystem work that way?
It might, but they use YouTube TV.
See, it very much depends on how fancy the TV is, whether you can do that or not. And even the Dish Network receivers, they will only kind of work. Like what I found was the main base, I have the Hopper unit, right? So the main Hopper unit will work and it will respond to either Alexa commands or Google Home commands, but the Joeys won't. So if I'm in my bedroom, I can't voice control the TV. But if I'm in the basement where the Hopper unit is, yeah, because a Joey is a baby kangaroo. So, because my wife asked me when I'm going to be able to tell Alexa just to turn off the TV. And I'm like, well, with the Fire Cube, you actually can do that as long as you have one of those arc jacks.
Okay.
Because my Fire Cube, I can actually tell it as long as it's connected to an arc jack. I can tell it change the input on the TV, change volume up, volume down, turn the TV on, turn the TV off, that kind of stuff. So you can control the aspects of the TV like that.
Okay.
I don't know if that also flows through to the other stuff all the time though. So
I don't know either, but I know that I have my original Fire Stick hooked up to the TV out there because, a Fire Stick hooked up to a smart TV is pretty stupid when you think about it. That just shows that your smart TV is no longer a smart TV. It's obsolete.
I had to hook up a Roku to a Fire TV because the Fire TV couldn't play files off of the Plex server because of an update to the Fire TV.
Oh, well, listen, the Plex app, I had to keep uninstalling and reinstalling in order to bypass the update so that I would actually be able to use it on this Samsung TV. But the problem is this thing is so old, this Fire Stick, that it took forever to try and install Facebook Watch so that we could watch something from our phone. I have which brings me to another. I have. At one point, I'm watching something and an ad pops up. Would you like a 4K Fire Stick for $20? Sure.
Yeah.
Ordered it, hit the button, and it's still in a freaking plastic. I never hooked it up because I don't have a 4K TV.
Well, that's like Comcast sent me. The Comcast is like, hey, we noticed you're an internet-only customer. Would you like a Flex box for free? I'm like, what the hell's a Flex box? And they're like, oh, well, you can get Peacock and Netflix and Amazon Prime videos and all this other stuff on it. It's sitting on a shelf. Because I'm like, I have Rokus everywhere, but you gave it to me for free. So, yeah, I took it. But, I don't have a big need for it right now. Plus, I've got a 65-inch TV sitting in a box. It's been sitting in a box for 9 months. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. I bought it because I thought that our grandson was going to need a TV when he moved out. He didn't need a TV.
No, he needed DDR2 RAM for his obsolete computer he wanted to build. Now, my whole thing is we have it's a 50-inch in the living room right now, the Samsung that's dying.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the reason I'm holding off is I want to move it to the other corner of the room.
Mm-hmm.
This way, people walking by don't see what the hell we're watching.
Yeah, so you can watch
at the right
porn in peace. I know exactly what you're talking about.
But that's gonna result in a big rearrangement of the room, and I don't think we're ready to do that because we're also looking at new furniture. So this is a whole giant. There's layers upon layers upon layers of crap here.
But talking about Amazon. Did you hear the big news about Amazon?
That they're buying Google.
No. Lysol disinfecting wipes are once again available on Amazon. I mean, it's huge. Now, Colin, you're our accountant on this channel. So we're gonna defer to you. Which, by the way, if you want to get in touch with us, just either comment on the post where the video is, or at PTR Radio on Facebook or Twitter. So the cheapest that you can buy. So this is a 6-pack, 480 total wipes for the bargain basement price of $93.49. Okay. So just a little bit of quick math here says $93.49 divided by 480 says that's only 20 cents per wipe.
Wow.
What a bargain. All right. Now, these canisters cost what, $4 a piece at the store when we could find them? When you look up price gouging in the dictionary, they should just have a picture of this auction, of this seller, because this is price gouging. I mean, a 400% markup.
I'm going to admit that I bought a couple of, and this was pre-Prime Day, just an FYI. I bought a couple of what I would consider like off-brand wipes. I bought a canister of 160. The brand is Care Touch. 160 wipes for $19.
That seems kind of expensive.
Use them? Kind of. Probably not going to use them. But it was the cheapest I saw for a while, and it was a plastic container, so I said, okay, you know what? We don't touch them, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
I also bought 160 veterinary use disinfecting wipes, so we could wipe off any areas that the cats or the dogs will come in contact with.
Yep.
And these are the ones that they use in some shelters and stuff. I've seen them. Those were $25, but because they're animal safe, I expect to pay a premium for them.
Yeah.
Kim, we kind of have a standing rule now. When we go to BJ's or Costco or Aldi or wherever, if there are paper towels, we will buy them.
Mm-hmm.
If there are disinfecting wipes and they're reasonably priced, we'll buy them.
Yep.
If there's rubbing alcohol, we'll buy it. Hand sanitizer, not so much, because I kind of stocked up on that and we don't even use it as much as we thought.
Yeah.
But that's it. I mean, we dedicated shelves in the garage for paper towels just to be safe. And I even bought a couple rolls of bamboo reusable ones to start drying the dishes with and cleaning up because why not? There was a deal of a day.
You know, I'm of the opinion, okay, now I'm a Boy Scout, so they always say be prepared, right? So I'm of the opinion, you know, hey, you go to the store, they have plenty of something on the shelf, you need one, buy two, okay? You're not, at that point, you're not hoarding, you're just buying an extra, a spare, okay?
Well, okay, so that's kind of my take on it. When we're out shopping, because it's not do we need one, buy two, it's we'll buy one because it's available, and if it's something that doesn't have an expiration date,
exactly,
okay,
and that's kind of what I'm at with you know, I deal with it on canned food, on paper consumables, on all those, the basic necessities, right? So it's the things that you really need, right? So yes, toilet paper. Do I have an extra package of toilet paper in my house? You're damn right I do. All right.
Okay. Well, wait a second.
But I don't have enough to build a throne.
We went to Aldi last time. They had a pallet of all-purpose flour. A pallet.
Mm-hmm.
Just sitting there on the floor.
Yeah.
Limit 2. We're hoarding flour now.
Well, actually, funny enough, it was very difficult to find bread flour early on in this whole thing. Bread flour was a premium because everybody suddenly decided, hey, we can make our own bread.
Everybody made sourdough.
So, it was crazy. And we are... I asked my wife the other day, I'm like, if bread becomes a problem, not that we're a huge bread family, but every once in a while, it is nice to have a sandwich for lunch, In
case Oprah drops by.
Yeah. Actually, we use the bread flour more for pizza dough and biscuits than any type of bread, to tell you the truth, because homemade bread goes stale super fast. That's the thing people don't understand. But yes, it was very hard to find. So we have like one 5-pound bag, in our pantry. And I'm like, well, do we need to get a second one? And she's like, no, because we really don't go through that much. And yeast, oh my God, you'd have thought that there was a brewing phenomenon going on. The amount of yeast that was sold out everywhere. You could not buy yeast to save your life. Because it's required for making...
Need yeast to make sourdough, and everybody decided they needed to make sourdough.
And everything else, and every other baked good.
Freaking idiot.
Yeah, everybody was suddenly their own bakery, And what's sad is, right now the numbers are going back up. All right, we've hit record highs within the last week, and there is... And I'm speculating as a citizen. I have no inside knowledge, so please take this for what it's worth. All right, I would say we're on the precipice of another lockdown, as is most of the country if you look at the numbers. All right, so and you can look on Yahoo and Google and everything else, and they say, hey, another wave is coming. Prepare for shortages in grocery stores and everything else, and so you can and. Part of the problem is that news is going to drive another shortage. The news of another potential shortage is going to drive another shortage.
Let me. So Jersey was an epicenter for the longest time, or part of the epicenter. We're seeing we're seeing the highest number of positive cases since the lockdown started.
Mm-hmm.
But hospitalizations and number on ventilators and all of that part still staying relatively flat.
Well, and that's good, because that's not the same in the Midwest.
Okay, so here's the issue. You guys are at the point we were at 4 months ago, when we were seeing like 10,000 cases a day. We were seeing 1,000 deaths a day. All right, and that was back in May. Back in May, we had a new hospitalization. We were seeing 6,000 new hospitalizations a day, or total hospitalizations, rather. So yeah, our curve looks more. We're still flat. We've flattened the curve. We're still locked down, but we flattened the curve.
Yep.
So this is the problem. More people are getting tested. So of course you're going to have more positive cases per day. Got to look at all the numbers. This is not thank you for smoking type statistics. This is look at all the numbers.
Yes, absolutely. You have to look at the entire picture. I'm not going to argue that at all. You do have to look at the entire picture.
Yeah. So, all right. So Teresa's saying Connecticut is getting worse too. Yeah, Connecticut is kind of in the same case as Jersey, where, yes, you're seeing more positive numbers on as far as positive test cases. But to my knowledge, your hospitalizations and your deaths are not increasing at the same proportion.
Well, and the thing about the testing, okay, so that's become a huge point of contention, right? You've got people that say, well, of course we're finding higher numbers of positivity because we're testing more, all right? But what I think people don't understand is that more testing doesn't necessarily mean more positivity. I actually had somebody in a group that I was in that said, well, I got tested twice, so that counted twice for positivity. And I'm like, the government is not so stupid that they can't deduplicate your results. You moron.
Okay. Oh, all right. The conspiracy theory, not that I agree with it. The government does not have access to that level of specificity because of HIPAA laws. Therefore, if you do get tested twice and you test positive, they are reported as two separate cases.
Yeah, but that's not, I think, how it works.
Yeah, that's not how HIPAA works.
No, HIPAA works to protect your data from other people, not from health organizations. It's breeding this issue, and this was a big thing of if we don't test, then we can ignore reality of what's really happening. And this was an article on She Knows via Yahoo of a Facebook mom code, okay? And what it is it's a group of moms on Facebook who are advocating avoiding COVID testing in order to keep schools open. All right.
Okay, that's just stupid. That is beyond stupidity. That's selfish, ridiculous.
And the mantra of this group is, if your child shows COVID symptoms, keep them home but do not test. If everyone would follow that the schools could stay open. All right, that post was originated from Salt Lake City. All right. This is the dumbest thing in the world. What they're doing is they're negating the whole idea of, proactively protecting people and keeping them from getting sick. Because as we've seen with this virus, you are a spreader before you're symptomatic. Way before you're symptomatic. And that's something that's new to people, and people aren't getting it. People don't understand it. And honestly, the closest thing that I can parallel this to is HIV and AIDS. Okay? And I know that's a huge leap right now, and maybe it's because I have 6 shots of something in me. But, carriers of HIV are very, very, they're carriers of HIV before they're shown to have symptoms of it. Because realistically, you're not diagnosed, with anything until you have AIDS, right? I mean, you can be diagnosed with HIV, but you're not symptomatic of it. And that's
look at Magic Johnson.
Yeah, I mean that's the
Magic
cause.
Johnson was one of the first big celebrity names to come out saying, "I'm HIV positive," and he's
still around.
At the height of the whole.
Yeah.
I mean,
point.
Go ahead, Carl.
HIV is pretty well controlled. I mean, if you manage to catch it, it's no longer a death sentence.
Right.
Which is a huge.
But they're only catching it now because of testing. Before, people were waiting until symptoms started to show up, at which point they were already into full-blown AIDS.
And they have prophylactic treatments like
now they do have
right?
some,
So here, okay, so I just looked.
And what's crazy is
website.
the other post on this same thread is, for the love of God, please stop testing for COVID. If your child is sick, keep them home. There's no cure or meds. Too many students with 0 symptoms are suffering. Just my humble opinion, with a 99.99% survival rate, this is a ridiculous week. And you got people that are promoting this person, saying that's yes, all this stuff. I mean, which just is not true. It's not a 99.99% survival rate. All right, that's absolutely not true. And there are, look at the statistics. There's people all the way from newborn to 110 that are dying from this. And you can say, well, they died from cancer or heart failure or whatever, but they were complications due to COVID.
Okay, so 2 things. The first, when people are quoting that 99.9% survival rate, they're looking at the total infection versus the entire population. And I may be wrong, but I thought survival rate was only based off of confirmed cases. So the survival rate is only applies if you've caught it.
Yeah, typically the survival rate is the percentage of people in a study or treatment group still alive for a given period after diagnosis.
All right, so if you have 100,000 people in your bubble, 10,000 are infected, 100 die. Your survival rate is based off of the sample size of 10,000, not 100,000, correct?
Right. So if we look at, we know there's over 200,000 people that have died from COVID, according to government statistics. I'll disclaimer the hell out of that. Okay.
Yeah, and folks, I am not advocating that. I in no way am I saying this that I think that this is a hoax or any of that crap. I'm trying to determine specifically how are numbers calculated.
Yeah.
Because if you look at how many people die, total deaths versus the entire global population, whether they've been tested or not, yeah, you know what? It is 99.9% survival rate.
All three of us.
I've also played enough of that pandemic or that infection game where you have to create your own virus to know that unless you start in Madagascar, you're never going to infect the entire world.
Yeah, all three of us.
Because Madagascar closes their freaking borders so quick, you can't win the game.
Yeah, all three of us have worked in big business enough to know that you can make statistics say whatever in the hell you want them to say. All right. So you
Smoking
can make
saved Nick Naylor's life because when they slapped him with 700 nicotine patches because he built up a tolerance to it.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want to say. It's just a matter of what you want to say. All right. Mike, being a vapor, could say that vape kills or vape saves.
Well, all right. So here's my thing, right? I'm looking at a site right now. Why the hell did I even pull this up? What did I saw it on? Total deaths, million of population. You want to guess what state is the first on that?
Michigan. No, New York. New York.
Nope. New Jersey.
Oh.
New Jersey's had 16,000 deaths. Our population is 8.8 million. New York is second. Massachusetts third. Connecticut fourth. We have a little over 1,800 or almost 1,850 deaths per million people.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right? So Teresa was talking about Connecticut. Connecticut is actually fourth on the list. They have 1,287 deaths. But here's the thing. When I looked at Connecticut, this is why I brought it up. Connecticut has a population of 3,565,287 people. They have 2,205,259 people. They have tested almost their entire freaking population. The only one that looks higher is Rhode Island. Yeah. Rhode Island actually has done more tests than they have populace. So that means they have had people tested twice.
So I just looked it up. So there's been 8.74 million cases across the U.S., and there's been 225,000 deaths. So if you work the numbers out, all right, that works out to 2.5% death rate. All right. So that is,
exactly.
Yeah. So the 99.99% survivability rate is bullshit.
What that is it's people pulling a number out of their butt of, we have this many people we know had COVID, and we know at one point it was 6% of them died. That's less now, but at one point it was 6%.
Yeah.
6% of people that we've clinically proven have COVID die. Then people took those numbers and I said, well, if you know this many people, then let's make a guess of how many people actually have had it that we never tested. So, and then we'll figure out, well, they probably didn't die. So we'll add that number to the number of people we know and use the same death rate that we started with and say, oh, it's 99.9997. You can make these numbers any way you want on either side, as Shaggy was saying.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not going to lie. Yes, it's much more dangerous to the elderly and those with pre-existing conditions. World Health Organization has said that. The Federal Department of Health has said that. Your local Department of Health has said that. You know, there is no lie about that. Everyone has said that. And whew, rocket fuel is tough stuff.
Yeah, listen, I'm angry with myself right now. Now I remember why I don't drink Fireball. I'm like starting to sweat. It's ridiculous, boy. Listen.
Oh, man.
Here,
don't remember how I said 2 or 3 of these?
You're out your damn mind. You drank half your bar.
If you haven't had dinner, it's 2. If you've had dinner, it's 2 or 3 of these. If you haven't had dinner,
wrong with
it's
you?
1 or 2. Damn, bro. These are good though. Well, okay, it's the second half is good. The first half is horrible, but the second half is really good.
Wow. Pretty soon Shaggy's going to be getting up trying to do the electric slide.
If they have beer goggles, he has beer tongue.
So anyway, let's get onto something more fun. But go ahead, Mike. Finish what you were going to say.
Well, here's the real thing. This Friday coming up, my hockey season starts again. We finally got word we're officially going to be able to play, and there's a whole bunch of restrictions and stuff we got to do.
Are you going to be in those plastic bubbles?
No,
we got to wear
a mask from when we come in. We got to wear a mask, and I hate doing a show with you when you get this drunk because you just interject stupid stuff that you think in your head sounds funny, but the rest of us are just like,
sorry.
You're that dude at the party that we're all trying to avoid, man. Dude, go have a shrimp cocktail or something.
All right.
Listen, so we know we got to wear a mask into the rink. They're going to check our temperature, and once we get to the locker room, it's, whatever. But I know damn well that this whole mask debate is going to wind up, and the whole COVID thing is going to be a huge discussion, and I know I'm going to wind up fighting somebody in my club because I already know that there are guys in the club that think masks are stupid, they're useless, they don't need to, this is all hoax, and November 4th it's going to go away, and this, that. Dude, if you don't want to follow the rink's rules, then don't play.
Yep.
It's that simple. It's not up for debate.
100% agree. There was a guy, I have a church group meeting, and we socially distanced the tables apart, and there was a guy who came in who said, because we all talk about, what's happened since the last time we met, and he wasn't there for the last meeting. And he goes, well, since the last meeting, I had the China flu. And I'm just start rolling my eyes back. And then me and another guy talked after the meeting, and we're like, really? You're going to come to this, granted it's been like 4 or 5 weeks. And I'm like, you're going to say it like that, which is extremely offensive. And 2, you're just going to lay that bomb on us and not have told us ahead of time anything. Like, this is, it's not right, and it's not cool. And unfortunately we've got some other people that just think that it's whatever, but it's just not cool. So yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. And the sad thing is you're never going to change those people's mind. So
no. And is anybody scared about next week?
Yes. I actually almost said in a group, I don't care which way it goes. I just hope it's decisive. Like, I hope it's a blowout one way or the other.
I am very much afraid of what's going to happen the night of. Well,
it's going to take weeks.
Voting.
It's going to take weeks to
with
decide.
All the mail-in voting, this is not going to be like a normal election where you're going to wake up on November 4th or go to bed on November 3rd and you're going to know who our new president is.
Well, hell, in years past, we knew by 9 o'clock. You knew within hours of the polls closing time it was. Which way it was going to go.
I think it's going to be, forget the fact that it may be decided by the Supreme Court. All right, let's not even go there.
Which I'm trying to figure that out. In what way legally does the Supreme Court have any influence on the presidential election? I don't remember that being part of my Constitution test.
Colin, please take this one because you're
our lawyer.
In only one way, it happened with Bush versus Gore, where they forced the election to complete in Florida. That's the most for the Supreme Court. Now, if there actually is anything where the election itself really comes into question, that actually is Congress. So at some point, if the election can't figure out who the president is, then Congress can vote and basically take it and do it themselves. They can decide who wins.
Me being, for the sake of ignorance here, when you say Congress would decide, let's say it came down to that. All right.
Yep.
I know the Democrats control the House and the Republicans control the Senate.
Yeah.
So how would explain?
Doesn't one pick the president and one pick the vice president? I think that's how it goes, right?
That's actually a good question, and I don't remember the answer. Which Congress decides?
I think, pursuant to the 12th Amendment, the House of Representatives is required to go into session immediately after the counting of the electoral votes to vote for president if no candidate for the office receives a majority of the electoral votes.
So the House, which is democratically controlled.
Yep.
Right? That's Pelosi.
Yep.
So the House would, if it goes to the House, then Biden's going to win.
In the event that no candidate for one or both of the offices wins an absolute majority of votes in the Electoral College, a contingent election for the president is decided by a vote of the United States House of Representatives, while a contingent election for the vice president is decided by a vote of the United States Senate. So you could end up with a split house.
We could theoretically wind up with a Biden-Pence
yes
presidency.
Remember when the country first started, the vice president was whoever was second.
All right, so wait. But so if we did wind up,
but that hasn't happened since 1837.
I don't care.
Yes.
But if we wind up with Biden-Pence,
yeah,
yep,
somehow, that completely throws off every conspiracy theory about a month in, Biden all of a sudden is going to be like, I can't do this because, I'm old. And President Kamala,
Pence.
Take over. All right? That throws off everything.
It does.
Because now the Democrats are going to be over like, oh, shit. We actually got to support this guy.
Well, it throws it back into the hands of what it is today, which is you have a Republican president and a Democratic, House of Representatives, where you can't get anything passed. It actually comes down to what happens in the Senate.
I have often said that the vice president, I don't really know what the vice president's job is other than he's like the bullpen, right?
Well,
yeah, he breaks ties in the Senate.
He breaks ties in the Senate, and he is essentially a ambassador of goodwill.
Yeah, but technically, the vice president is the head is the head of the Senate, just like the.
No, he is the ambassador. He is the ambassador of goodwill to the other countries.
No,
it's true.
No.
What else
my
does
whole
the
reaction is? My whole reaction is, oh crap! You're kidding me, right? Ambassador of goodwill.
Yes. What else does the vice president do? He doesn't do a damn thing. He sits in line waiting for the president to either abdicate or run again. He doesn't do a damn thing.
So did the Secretary of Education, and that's how Designated Survivor became a series. No, my point is, listen, if there's any candidate or any part of this presidential ticket that I don't like, I am not going to lie. It's Kamala. I don't like her attitude. And I don't like the fact that she hangs out too much with AOC and the rest of the squad. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That I don't like it. And she's going to be the ambassador of goodwill?
Well,
she's wearing Timberlands. Those are ass-kicking boots, man.
It's kind of
she's going to go over there and be like, listen, you're going to listen to me. You want to know why? Because I am a strong black woman wearing Timberlands, and it don't matter what you think. If you disagree with me, you're a racist. So whatever she wants, she's going to get.
I honestly don't know what else they've done. I'm going to claim stupidity, I guess, but tell me what else they've done other than wait in line.
They wait in line and they break ties in the Senate. That's literally the only thing that the vice president does.
I know, but he has sent them to funerals, and they're a glorified Secretary of State.
I don't know.
No, they're not anywhere close to being as powerful as the Secretary of State.
Okay.
The Secretary of State is the second most powerful office.
As I have said, At this point, I don't like any of them. I have made it clear I am voting. Since I already told you I voted, I can tell you I voted Joe Jorgensen.
Yeah.
And you could call me a wasted vote. You can call me whatever, but I truly believe that if people don't actually support third-party candidates, we're going to be stuck with a two-party system forever. And I think that's the absolute worst path for America.
Yeah. Okay, well, checking the state listing, New Jersey is listed as likely
Democrat.
Biden, which means that your vote is useless.
Well, except for in the popular vote rank. Because doesn't popular vote goes towards future funding, I think.
If a candidate receives 5% or more of the popular vote, they are eligible for some kind of funding.
Yeah.
15% in certain polls, I believe they're allowed to debate. And that's my goal. I want to see a third party up there debating.
Yeah. The problem is the problem is in a highly contested incumbent vote, the inclusion of a third party typically means that the incumbent is favored to win, at least within Illinois. That's traditionally been the rule for governorship.
So, here's the other question. How many of y'all voted for Kanye?
God. Did you see that
he was on the list?
Several celebrities came out and said, listen, we know it may be fun to vote for Kanye, but that's actually doing nothing good. I'm
pretty sure his wife came out and said that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure too. Let's see here. Vote for Kanye.
So for anybody in Illinois, anybody in New Jersey, vote for whoever you want to vote for. It's meaningless. Whoever you vote for, both states are going to be Biden. The one where your vote matters is Nevada, Arizona, Texas, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Ohio, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida.
Yeah,
those are the ones that matter.
Isn't it funny that we've created all these swing states? Where those are the ones that actually control, and so therefore they don't bother with any of the other ones.
I would love for it to come down to one vote. Remember that movie with Kevin Costner?
I would love for it to happen sometime, just not in this election, please.
No, listen. I have made my opinion very clear that this is worse than last time as far as lesser of two evils.
Mike,
it truly is.
Which would you have? This election or cauliflower ice cream?
I will fight you right here and right now. I swear to God, cauliflower ice cream. Listen to me. Cauliflower should be banned. From the world, period.
So if
I am sick of cauliflower. Cauliflower might as well just go ahead and team up with turkey because they're just impersonating the heck out of every damn thing. And I'm sick of this. Turkey bacon and cauliflower crust pizza, ice cream. Cauliflower just needs to get out. Mashed potatoes, okay, fine. You know what? If you take it and you rice it, cauliflower kind of tastes like mashed potatoes. Fine. That's perfectly all right.
It's because mashed potatoes don't taste like anything.
Listen, you give me a freaking cauliflower crust pizza with vegan cheese and turkey bacon and some kind of
tofu sausage.
No, you know what? You could throw French fries and deep fry it in bacon fat, and I still won't eat it because you're just ridiculous. Imposter foods, I'm sick of this. Absolutely disgusting. This is the dumbest thing ever. Cauliflower ice cream, vegetable-based ice cream. Okay, no. This is not allowed to be a thing. Listen, I'm not against vegetable-based desserts, okay? because I have eaten black bean brownies and I thought they were delicious. They were a healthy alternative. And if you didn't know, you didn't. There you go. Yes. See? Cauliflower. Yes. Hold on.
The problem with it is it isn't really cauliflower crust. It's mostly like tapioca and stuff like that, and they throw cauliflower in it to say, "Oh, it's just, because cauliflower it's a trendy vegetable," but it barely exists in getting cauliflower crust pizza. Now, rice cauliflower is great for replacing rice. We use it all the time, but not as a crust.
We will definitely get a copyright to play this, probably, but this is perhaps the best reaction to vegan bacon. Exactly. Yes. If the dog won't eat it, that's a good judge.
Oh, the dog won't eat lots.
So I don't.
Would you like to sample our vegan
I never
bacon?
watched the show.
100% meatless.
Yes, please. Another, please.
That's right. Let's take it right into the garbage.
Sir, is there a problem?
I'm just making sure no one ever has to eat this.
I don't think I can give you any more.
I want one.
See?
Ron,
exactly. That's a man's man right there. And like I've said, if you want to feed me turkey bacon, I too like to live dangerously, but tell me it's turkey. Don't try and pass it off as real bacon, because you will lose a hand.
Well, I tell you what.
That's not the liquor talking.
Part of my preparation for the upcoming election has been to stock the freezer, as I said, the
spam.
Need one, buy one, with bacon, thick cut bacon, and sausage. And
what does that have to do with the election?
I don't want to be hungry. I don't want to be in a position where I don't have food.
Okay, but okay. All right, Rocket Man.
Mike, I'm not afraid to say I have 150 eggs in my refrigerator right now.
Eggs go bad, Rocket Man.
Not anytime soon. I looked up their shelf life. It's a good long time in the fridge.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a very long time because, sometimes what they like to do is if they've been in there too long, then they kind of just rinse off the original date and redate it and put it back out.
Mike, I have 30 pounds of bacon in my freezer.
I have 1 can of Spam in my fridge.
You're not preparing enough, Mike.
Why do you have a can of Spam in your refrigerator?
Yeah, that doesn't need to be refrigerated. That should be in the pantry.
It's just where it wound up and it's there, okay?
No, there's no need to refrigerate that. It's the whole idea.
I understand that, but it was with the eggs when I brought it in from the car, and that's where it lives now.
Well, now the problem is now you can't take it out. Once it's been refrigerated, you have to keep it refrigerated.
It's 1 can.
Well,
when it comes out, it's getting eaten.
All right, do you have enough crackers?
What crackers? What are you talking about, crackers?
Well, you eat Spam on crackers, son. That's what
you do. No, you don't. You slice it up, you fry it up, and you eat it on an egg sandwich.
No.
Yes.
No, crackers. It's good for hangover. No, Spam is fine on crackers, just regular crackers.
Oh, anything is good on a cracker.
Yes. That's what they say.
That doesn't mean that's the best possible thing.
I mean, that's the saying, don't you know? Once you go black, you don't go back, but everything tastes better on a cracker. So, bet you didn't know that one.
Is it time for the movie review yet? Because
no, we got some time left.
Okay.
So, also in our news notes,
we are finally getting the sequel that nobody asked for, but everybody wants.
I don't know that everybody wanted it. I didn't want it.
Everybody who liked the original.
No, because they're going to screw it up.
They are not going to screw it up. It's one of the original writers.
They're going to screw it up.
They might not.
Tell me a good sequel. Give me one good sequel.
Aliens.
Godfather Part 2.
Give me one good non-crime. Star Trek 2 was.
Aliens was not a crime. Where are you going with that?
Or a horror. I was going to say, or a horror.
Grown Ups 2.
That was not good.
I'm sorry. I missed what are we
no
on right
horrors.
Toy Story 2.
Animation doesn't count. There's no story there.
Okay, good sequel?
Yeah.
Not horror.
Give me a good sci-fi non-horror sequel.
A good sci-fi non-horror sequel. Empire Strikes Back.
Not done by Lucas or Spielberg.
So you're not allowing Star Trek or Star Wars.
Yeah. Unless they're doing this sequel. Are Spielberg or Lucas doing the sequel?
Well, in this case, he's the writer of the original movie, so...
No, tell me, are Lucas or Spielberg doing this sequel?
They are not worthy.
All right, so go ahead, tell me. Come on, give me a good one, because I can quote off some failures.
No, failures are easy.
Of course, that's easy. That's easy to quote off the failures.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to quote off the successes. And by the way, folks, what we're talking about here is
you put us in a box here, all right? You put us in a box by eliminating every possible genre that we would ever watch willingly. So, okay, fine. Sequel to the 50 Shades Darker.
It was not as good as the first or the third one.
Opinion.
It's not opinion, it's fact.
Says who?
Most of the women who read those books.
What about the men?
I'm the only man who read those books.
Okay,
so
here's the list of...
It's not valid. You're biased.
Okay, we have Aliens, which kind of sort of horror, but still science fiction. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Empire Strikes Back. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, yeah. Dawn, and then War was even better.
Let's see.
Zombieland 2.
Star Trek Wrath of Khan.
Wasn't better than the original.
Back to the Future Part 2.
Was not better than the original.
Now it has to be better than the original?
Yeah, okay, nobody goes, oh, yeah, Back to the Future 2. I love that movie. That was so much better than 1 and 3. No, nobody goes, it was better than 1 and 3.
The ones that are better, you already decided to ignore.
What we're talking about here is there is a plan.
Judgment Day is definitely better than the original Terminator.
There is a planned sequel for The Last Starfighter. And supposedly it has the original writer involved.
Mm-hmm.
And here's where it starts to fall down. He plans to make The Last Starfighter 2 alongside Rogue One and Star Wars Rebels. It's a combination of a reboot and a sequel. We both think honors the legacy of the original film while passing the torch to a new generation.
Okay, so you want sequels that were better than the original. Okay. Not science fiction.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait. What am I not? So I can't
not,
do sci-fi.
Not horror and not animation.
Not horror, not animation. Okay. Silence of the Lambs.
That's a horror movie.
I thought it was suspense, but okay. Superman 2.
Nobody thought that was better than the original.
Christmas Vacation.
That's not the sequel.
Yes, it is.
No,
it's a sequel.
European Vacation was the sequel, and it was horrendous.
So another clarifier. So you have to go in succession now.
Sequel means second, sir. Thank you very much. Sequel means second.
Wrathacon.
Sucked. Yeah, let's kill off the main character. That's a great idea.
Bride of Frankenstein.
Not as good as Frankenstein.
Lies and fabrications yet again. I'm looking.
Does anybody dress up as the Bride of Frankenstein for Halloween? No, they all dress up as Frankenstein.
No,
more people dress up as Frankenstein.
Very popular, actually. Thank you. So I am looking at a list here.
In Transylvania 65000, was there a Bride of Frankenstein? No, it was Frankenstein.
I can't agree with this list completely because it says Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers was, and as far as I'm concerned, they all suck. But the trees walked, for Christ's sake. X2, X-Men United, that was better than the original X-Men.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Absolutely was.
No.
The Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire was better than the first one.
No.
From Russia with Love was better than Dr. No.
Dark Knight was better than the first Batman. Because Heath Ledger was a god in that movie.
Yeah.
And then subsequently died.
Yeah. Which is definitely in the line of the second, the third one of that series was not that good.
All right, but anyway, so
Thor Ragnarok was better than Thor.
See, yes. I don't necessarily agree with that.
But it's also not the sequel. I mean, it doesn't meet its requirements. Because Thor Ragnarok was the third one, and the second one was crap.
Oh well, okay, the Dark World, yeah, okay.
But the first one on this one, okay, The Last Starfighter was so great for so many reasons. All right.
Yeah, but it's very, very... Last Starfighter is in that category of something very difficult to show to a young person to do.
I got it.
And get them to understand it.
I have it 100% undisputable. You cannot deny this one.
Okay.
The Road Warrior was better than Mad Max.
Okay.
That is one of the ones I listed earlier.
But I guess.
Yeah, but he didn't rule it out. He didn't respond. He kind of just went past it to the one you rattled after.
There are very few exceptions, I guess. Let me just put it that way. There are very few exceptions to the sequel being better than the original.
Dawn of the Dead better than Night of the Living Dead.
Horror movie.
Shrek 2 better than Shrek animation.
No, it's not.
How about, okay, so if we're going to say this is really a remake, then we can also bring in remakes that were better than the original.
I think there's even less of those. There's hardly any remakes that are better than the original.
Oh,
Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
You've Got Mail.
When they remade Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
I don't know. Didn't watch it. Didn't watch either of them.
You are just so freaking wrong.
Drunk.
That too.
Not quite. Not quite. But
wait. Before we get, so we need. Yeah. Let's switch gears.
Yes.
Because we do need to talk about Quibi shutting down.
Yes.
That's topical. So I
can't say Quibi. I'm surprised.
Mm-hmm. No, not surprised. I did have it because I wanted to watch that Princess Bride home movies thing, which was pretty awesome. But I couldn't see anything else on that thing that was worth my money.
So they had quite a few short bit shows that were exclusive, or a handful of them. I'm curious if any of them are actually going to be picked up elsewhere.
Okay,
and
the problem is that the format's wrong. I mean, how do you pick them up?
I guess the question would be, is it possible, like, obviously I've never watched any of them because I didn't have the subscription, but is it possible that any of them are like, 24, where you could, in theory, piece together two to make a 30-minute episode for streaming?
Yeah, let me see if I can. I have no idea if this thing even still works. But what I'll do is I'll turn the sound off. Okay.
Because there are some of these that...
That's going to be too dark.
Is that your new iPhone?
Yes, that's my new iPhone.
This guy's got the 13 before it even came out.
Here, let me find this stupid...
So for those who don't know, Quibi was basically like bite-sized episodes, all very short format.
Yeah, they served up 5 to 10 minute chapters formatted to fit a smartphone screen.
Right. So because here's the thing, you can see this is up and down. If I turn it sideways, so this one actually at the moment is there it goes. So you can see when it actually gets into real footage, then it just moves the screen over to the left, and then it shows the information about the actors who are currently on there. And then you go back to vertical again.
Oops. It's not going.
There you go.
Okay, yeah. And I keep forgetting that.
That's very difficult to translate to a television.
Well, yeah.
Okay, all right. So the actual episodes as they were filmed, but there was original content on here that I'm wondering could the scripts or the series be picked up elsewhere and the following season, or do they reshoot? Was there anything good enough worth trying to save? Because didn't one of the Helmsworths had a Scott maybe, or Skippy Helmsworth may have had like an original series on there.
Skippy Helmsworth, is that it's a cousin maybe,
or Scott Eastwood maybe, I don't know. And that's what I was saying, like 24. Liam Hemsworth and Christoph Waltz, Most Dangerous Game on Quibi. So, like, that's one that came to mind. Like, that's something that the storyline was good enough that So it appears they're shopping it elsewhere since Quibi shut down.
Yeah, and it looks like it was shot, so it does go sideways. So unlike home movies,
right?
it isn't.
Yeah. I don't know. I was looking to see if there was any Skippy Helmsworth anywhere in the world on Google. It doesn't look like there is.
So here's my other question is since I don't have Hulu, is it Hulu? That you don't even know what show I'm asking about. And you were saying, yeah.
I said, yeah.
I said, is it Hulu? And you said, yeah. You don't even know what show I'm getting ready to ask you about. What show?
It's the Yeah Show. I was just looking for Skippy.
Where'd the Orville go?
Hulu.
Okay. Has there been any word about the new season of... Since I don't have Hulu...
It got delayed again.
Good. I hope Hulu goes bankrupt now and it comes back to Fox. Maybe then I can watch it.
Well, either way, it's still owned by Disney. Because Disney owns Hulu and they own Fox. Whatever they call it now. 20th Century Television.
Listen, if they keep their theme parks closed that much longer, we may be able to buy them for $2 in a pack of smokes.
Theme parks are open. Just not Disneyland isn't open, but Disney World is.
Oh. No.
What?
So Orville canceled at Hulu. Season 3 will become final outing for Seth MacFarlane's sci-fi series.
Oh, that worked out well for you, didn't it, you prick?
Hulu has decided to cancel the show and will not return for a 4th season. That came out in August. How did we miss that?
Because they're still doing a season 3. They're not doing a season 4.
So, we didn't talk about, there have been a lot of cancellations of previously renewed shows due to COVID.
They're going to use the set. They're going to use the production studio to film Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Okay.
Okay, makes sense. I mean, it makes sense to do that, not make sense to shut it down just to do that.
So, we've had a couple, not so much on network TV, but so Glow on Netflix was supposed to get season 4. They shot 2 episodes and the pandemic hit and Netflix reversed their decision and said canceled. There is an online movement asking once the pandemic is over and they can safely resume filming, let us do a 2-hour movie to wrap the whole story up. Stumptown on ABC was also renewed for a 2nd season, but due to COVID, it was they reversed it and they canceled. The Lincoln Lawyer was scrapped due to COVID. I Am Not Okay With This was another one that was renewed and is now canceled. The Society was wait a minute. Is that the one I'm thinking? Son of a... to this one and it got canceled because of COVID?
Yeah, it's amazing how many things have been canceled due to COVID.
Damn, this was a good show, too.
What show was it?
High school, The Society. It was about high school students that they were on a retreat, and while they were on the retreat, the rest of the population of their town disappeared. And allegedly the outside world no longer exists. So It's almost like a modern day Lord of the Flies kind of thing happening here.
Mm-hmm.
And we got our official first spam on Twitch.
Oh. Cool. Well, we want to become famous.
But we're not buying nothing.
Well,
Give us stuff.
Yeah, we don't have any money. We don't want to buy followers. We just want you to give us followers. Oh, that sucks.
And how do we feel about how do we feel about
Judge Judy was canceled?
Yeah, but that was canceled pre-COVID.
He retired.
Oh, okay.
How do we feel about The Weakest Link coming back?
They picked the best possible host, I think.
I agree.
I don't know. You know, there's several. I also saw that Shop Till You Drop is coming back. Or no, sorry, Supermarket Sweep is coming back.
Okay, so Kim and I are a house divided on the host that they chose
for The Weakest Link.
For Supermarket Sweep.
I think
we watched the first episode. Leslie Jones was okay. I thought she got a little too excited, like how you up for an entire season. But Kim literally was losing her mind at the contestants. Why in the hell would you bring your 70-year-old mother when you have to run through the store?
Oh, I know. Why is that
this
in the
is a team
first
thing? I'm not bringing her.
No.
And then they got to the end. I was just like watching these people. Okay, you have 60 seconds to go find these things and then win lots of money. Time started like a while ago. Maybe move a little faster.
Yeah.
Instead of walking. Okay, a jog would be good.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, the contestants were crap. I thought Leslie was pretty good.
Yeah,
I was really looking forward to it.
Well, we got a lot of production suspended. I was happy when I saw that the Connors came back on.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Glad to see that one.
I was a bit confused when I saw some of the promos and realized that Peg Bundy is now Dan's girlfriend.
Yep. But a lot of the shows that I was looking for, like every reason for me to subscribe to Disney Plus has been suspended so far. Like WandaVision, they resumed it, but
there's been a lot of delays, but there's been so much stuff. Disney basically has been moving almost every movie directly into Disney Plus instead of broadcasting it. I mean, there was the one Mulan, which they charged extra for, but it looks like a lot of the other ones are just going to move to Disney Plus with no extra charge.
Yeah, I guess that failed as a test for blockbuster movies on streaming, according to several things, several articles. That the huge, because what was it, like $35 to rent that or something? Some astronomical charge.
Speaking of rentals, it's too bad we didn't live closer to each other because AMC is allowing groups of 20 people, up to 20 people, to rent a theater privately to watch movies at a cost of $99 to $350, depending on the title of that you're renting. Like Tenet, would be $350. But you split that amongst 20 people.
Yeah,
that's what it's like the price of a movie.
Yeah,
but you have the theater to yourself. The problem I have with this is I don't know 19 other people that I'm friends with that I could sit in a movie theater and watch, knowing that it's all my friends.
Yeah.
like they'd all be talking and stuff, and I'd have to start throwing popcorn.
Yeah, I'd
or
be
peanut
pissed.
M&Ms because they hurt.
Well, and what's the point? I could just sit at home and watch that because I want them all to be quiet and just leave me alone. I can do that at home.
Yes.
For the low price of nothing. Because what I'd want to watch is old movies, because that's what I watch.
Yes. Speaking of, we should have started reviewing movies about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. This ain't going to take long.
So tonight we have two movies. We have The Wrong Missy, and the other one that we have is what the hell's the name of it? I watched 3 bad movies, and I can't remember what the name of the last one is.
That's your problem. The Wrong Missy and Coffee and Kareem.
Oh, that's right. I couldn't remember because I just kept thinking about the F word for some strange reason.
Let's go in alphabetical order and start with Coffee and Kareem.
Okay, Coffee and Kareem. Colin, we will start off with you.
Okay, Coffee and Kareem is another cop and kid movie. Think of, any of those movies you think of. I can't remember this movie is. This movie was terrible. And a comment I heard is, why does this kid have such terrible parents that they let this kid be in this movie? I mean, what this kid does in this movie, I'm just going, why was it legal for this kid to have this dialogue? This movie could be right up there with Cuties. I mean, as far as underage kids being taken to strip bars and having to read dialogue which an adult wrote, I don't know. This was a very, very weird movie. Had Ed Helms? Am I correct there? Ed Helms?
Yep.
Yes.
And he stars as a cop who has this 12-year-old wannabe gangster, fat kid, black kid. Both those things are true. And so the kid decides to make the cop stop dating his mom by having him get beat up by a drug dealer. That's the kid's plan. I don't know. And then that just drives to other characters who are other cops who are definitely high on so much drugs that you're wondering how they're walking around and how anybody would have thought that they weren't dirty cops, because they literally are non-functional because of the amount of drugs that they've been taking. I don't know. Just, if you like the genre of cop and kid movies, if you really love movies where cops are saddled with a kid and drive around trying to be cops and stuff, I don't know. Here's another movie you can watch. I am not going to watch it again. It's not puke. It is definitely less than meh. Sneeze. I'm going to call this one a sneeze.
A sneeze, which is a unique rating. All right, I'll go next. Coffee and Kareem. Like Colin said, it's a buddy cop movie with a kid cop. Not nearly as good as like Cop and a Half, New Recruit that we watched before. In this case, as Colin explained, black kid doesn't like his mom banging a white cop, so tries to involve a gangster rapper to rough him up and try and get him away. Turns out not so well in the end. So then you end up with a little bit of a gangster chase thing going on. You end up with bad cops, running them down. the overarching theme for this movie seemed to be the F word over and over and over and over again, to the point where you thought, did Samuel L. Jackson come back as like a 10-year-old? Because that's really what I thought. I waited for mother effer to come out of this kid's mouth. So I could not believe, because to look at this, you would think, oh, it's a kid's movie. You got a kid and a cop, and they're going to get in all these kind of trouble, and the kid's going to go driving all crazy. And so Netflix propositioned this as like a family movie. It's not. All right? If you let your kids watch this, you're probably letting them watch this because you've got a heroin needle in your arm in a corner. All right? And your kids are just eating like Pop Rocks and soda on the burned out couch while your dealer meth buddy is cooking in the kitchen, and it's not dinner time. All right? That's the kind of parent that you are if you let your kids watch this. All right? This is an adult movie with adult themes, and it's definitely not what I would recommend for anybody. Okay? It's not a great movie. I would call this a VERP movie. Overall, it's just VERP. It's and the sexy scenes not so sexy in my book. So don't even watch it for the sexy scenes. But the mom is right. The guy does know how to ruin a good sexy time. All right, there's no question about that. So that's my take on it. All right, Mike, you're up.
5 minutes into this movie, and I have a terrible feeling about it. For the record, I do not believe Ed Helms is a cop for one single second. I don't know what the hell this verse Kareem is spitting in class is all about. You 12, man. Side note. I'm embarrassed to admit that when I first started watching this, I thought Kareem was a girl. And here is Puke Tub Guy. This guy gonna be in every movie we review now that's on Netflix, because I'm not having it. Of course, the kid's got to drop the phone, and this is a TVMA version of Cop and a Half. Okay, that's it. What the kid went, and all of a sudden you don't have to poop. I'd love to know what kind of ninja trick that is, because it could come in handy when I'm driving 10 hours to Maine. Pretty impressive that these guys got these cars, these cop cars, Crown Vics, drifting like Han in Tokyo Drift, going around in circles. Old-ass Taylor Swift on meth. Kareem, you just redeemed yourself with that insult. How many GD bullets are in these pistols? I mean, I know the song, 15 in the clip and 1 in the hole. They shot 47 times before they ran out of bullets. And it just so happens that was just enough for them to run out when they were face to face. This, look, I thought this was just going to be a raunchy version of Cop and a Half, or a Cop and Kid, TVMA Cop and Kid movie. But it started out bad, and then there was a little section where I was like, okay, maybe not so bad, and bad again. So in honor of King Puke Tub, I'm giving this a Verp Tub.
Did anybody other than me question why a traffic cop had grenades in his trunk?
That's what you question in this movie.
Well, it's one of the many things. One of the many things. Colin, why are you muted? Why are you muted?
Just for consistency's sake, you might as well make mine verb as well, just to keep it the same. I just couldn't think of those in-between ones down there.
Okay, next up, the wrong Missy, and we will go in the same order. So, Colin, you're first.
Yay, the wrong Missy. Kind of like What About Bob in many ways. Yeah, this is another Happy Madison. So yet again, you have really old male comics with younger women and lots of family members of Adam Sandler making a movie set in Hawaii. David Spade is on a terrible blind date with a woman who's half his age, and manages to escape. But then dislocates his ankle. She then the bad date fixes it. That's the beginning of the movie. Then he finds another woman, probably half his age, and through mix-ups of texts, the wrong one gets invited. So he ends up in Hawaii at a company outing with the crazy woman from the first blind date. And then because of the reasons of that this is a movie, he decides to fall in love with her. Okay? The only reason he falls in love with her is because this is a movie. That's what the script said. The script said you fall in love with her, so he does. Then she finds out that she wasn't supposed to be there, so she leaves him which doesn't make any sense because she's crazy, so why does she care? And then he loses his job, and the movie ended. And I was like, okay, I've watched this entire pile of crap here, and I don't know why it was made, why they thought it was a good idea. I tell you, one of the biggest problems is that there are two other female characters in the workplace of the David Spade character. And they were very difficult to keep separated because one was his ex-fiance, and the other is his the woman he's going up against to try to become the president of craziness. I don't know. But it was very difficult to kind of keep the two characters straight because it's reading your mind because like, okay, is that the bad one or the fiance? And then the ex-fiance one just kind of was just there for a scene to get beaten up a bit and then disappeared. So that character didn't go anywhere. Maybe if the two of them had been put together, then the movie would be more cohesive because then you could have the ex-fiance who's trying to also get the same job he wants. Yeah. I don't know. This movie is, yet again, not good. I'm almost tempted to give it meh because I just didn't really care about it. But because of, yet again, Rob Schneider showing up with a stupid character, stinking up the place, I'm going to give this one a verb as well.
All right. Okay, the wrong Missy. Colin pretty much laid it out. So it's a case of mistaken identity during texting, which who hasn't been there, right? But yeah, this movie was an excuse to get a lot of comedians a payday and a SAG card is really what it was, I think. So David Spade, Laura Lampkus, Nick Swartzen, and then Adam Sandler's wife, Jackie Sandler's got to get a payday in here. Rob Schneider's got to get a payday. John Farley, they've all got to get paid one way or another in here. But Laura Lampkus and Nick Swartzen are actual comedians that travel and do gigs, as is David Spade. Laura Lampkus, I've never liked her comedy. All right, so that was already a strike against her on this movie. Nick Swartzen, I could take it or leave it. I really, It's kind of juvenile comedy, in my opinion. David Spade, as he's grown older, I've kind of liked him a little bit more as he's moved away from the juvenile stuff. But there's one big problem with him in this movie, and I'll get back to it here in a little bit. But, this movie is him trying to reconnect with what he was in Tommy Boy, in Black Sheep, in all the other movies that he's ever been in. He was trying to recapture, I think, some of that glory, and it didn't work for him in this time because he's grown out of it. All right, that's not him, and nor can he play a dramatic role. So it doesn't really work for him. He should just stick to what he does, which is kind of mature stand-up. It is kind of a rom-com. It's not a horrible movie, but it's not great either. It's exactly in that meh category, which is why I kind of categorize it as that. It's a meh movie. That's what I'll give it as a rating. But it's got so many twists and turns and weird deviations and things that, like I said, it's not going to be memorable. It's not going to be something that you want to rewatch. It's not going to be something that you absolutely hate. It's just going to be something where when you're done with it, you'll go, well, that was time spent. Not good, not bad, but just spent. I used my afternoon somehow. But let's get to the real issue with this movie. All right? The real problem that I have with this movie, which is David Spade's hair. All right? That's the real issue with this movie. All right? Either he's got the world's worst toupee, or he colored his hair a shade about 3 times lighter than what it really should be. All right, now, I will admit, I'm going bald. All right, it happens to everybody. At one time or another, you're going to lose your hair. All right, you just kind of learn to live on and move forward and accept it. Or you spend a lot of money on a good piece, or several of them actually, and you just, you do it that way. But David, my man, you got to go with one or the other, all right? Because whatever you're doing in this movie, it's not working, all right? The whole movie, I was thinking, is it going to come off? Is somebody going to rip it off? Is that going to be part of the movie? What's going on? I don't get it. I don't understand it. But it's not you, all right? It's not you. And at the end of the movie comes, and it's still not resolved. This is the only unresolved part of the whole movie. You wrapped up every other line in this movie. You got it done. But the hair, man, I got to know. I didn't see it in a post-credit scene. I didn't see it in a director's commentary. Nothing is mentioned about the hair. But break it down for me. What went on? Did COVID hit? What's the deal? I got to know. Miss Clairol is here for you. All right, so just let me know. That's what I actually want to put on IMDb. What the hell's up with his hair? All right. Mike, it's up to you.
All right. The fact that this is a Happy Madison production concerns me slightly. These are very hit or miss with us. Often divisive. True story. Kim and my first date, I was on antibiotics and couldn't drink. She was ordering Malibu Bay Breezes, but was not nearly as annoying as Missy. Yet another trademark of the Happy Madison franchise. Semi-attractive guy hooks up with the amazingly hot girl and nobody bats an eyelash. The HR guy is a textbook. Do not do this for anyone in corporate America. Here is a problem with communicating via text. All right, I have a 3 tool. If it takes you more than 3 text messages to get an answer out of me, dial the number and call. Plain and simple. How did he not have her number blocked in his phone after that horrific first date? That right there is the anti-MacGuffin. When a chick is that crazy, block and roll. If he had done that, not only would he have been safe, but this movie would have never had to have been made. Seriously, how does he not have her blocked on every possible social media platform? Including text. All you have to do, you get a text, block, and poof, they can't contact you anymore. That's it. It's built into the friggin' phone. You know who Missy would be good with? The Gimp. Put them together. They'd be a good match. And block them both. How is she not dead? She fell off a cliff, hit everything on the way down. How is she not dead? And the HR guy's reaction is great. She's alive? Damn it! Why is there a rooster at a tropical resort? I'm going to let you think about that for a second. Because when I'm on vacation, I don't want to be up at the crack of dawn. And she's got a CPAP. Of course she does. There he is, Rob Schneider. Can't be a Happy Madison movie without him. Or Cross-Eyed Guy. She's puking to make chum. Now the shark is in the cage. Singing makes me want to gag. And I'm not even hypnotized. Didn't even know that was Adam Sandler's wife. They met on the set of Big Daddy. She was the waitress in the bar when they went to watch the Jets game. And somehow, they got Vanilla Ice in this movie. Look, I really don't know about this one. I mean, midway between a met and a verp, I originally gave it a smirk because I thought it was kind of funny in some parts, even though the overall story kind of just annoyed the hell out of me. I agree. This is the second week in a row we've seen Lauren Lipkiss. That's her name, right?
Yep.
This is the second week in a row we've seen her. She was the weak-willed assistant stage manager in opening night last week.
Yep.
All right, I guess you know what? I'm gonna give it only because it's on Netflix and it's very unlikely that people are actually going to watch it based on David Spade. So I'm not really risking that much by giving it a mildly entertaining rating. But it ain't no cobbler.
Yeah, we gave it kind of a range here around Matt. We kind of bracketed it completely. So, but Shaggy, to answer your question, the hair was referenced in the very first scene.
Oh, okay.
She made fun of the hair. Why he had to have that terrible hair for the entire movie for one little joke when they first met, I don't know.
I don't know. All right, what's our range so we can pick the new ones?
26.
Number 20.
Oh boy. This is on Netflix. Uh-oh. Is it not available? Let me hold on.
Uh-oh.
There you
go. Oh, there. No, don't start playing. Stop that. It's on Netflix with Mel Gibson called Bloodfather.
Bloodfather?
The hell put a violent action with Mel Gibson. Who the hell put this on here? Shaggy.
Hell if I know.
It wasn't me.
It sure as shit wasn't me. Somebody stuff or something?
Let's see here. Don't play. An ex-convict and estranged father finds the chance to prove himself when his daughter seeks his help shaking off a dangerous group of drug dealers. Boy, he looks jacked in that movie, too. What the hell? Did he do roids or something to get ready for that?
I want to know who the hell put this on here. Had to be you, because this is not anything. I know it wasn't me, and I doubt it was. All right, go on.
24.
Okay, this might be a little better. It's on Amazon. Chokeslam. It's a women's wrestling movie. This better not be. What's this rated? Okay, it's rated for teens, so... Okay. There's Mick Foley's in here. So.
Now a world-renowned professional wrestler, has come back home for their high school reunion to win back over her heart. Corey plans a retirement match for Sheena, but what Corey never envisioned is that talent scouts want to offer Sheena a 5-year wrestling contract in Japan. Is that it?
Yep, that's it. I was just making sure that this was not a Hookers Raising Kids movie. And I'm pretty sure that
an appearance from Mick Foley and Michael
Yep.
Eklund. But it just says great appearance.
Well, that's whatever. That's fine. It's not TVMA. It's a comedy. It's 13. Okay.
Okay. All right, so that's the two.
Sounds good.
Could be worse.
I'll have to,
and then
I'll have to work on adding some more.
For the next show, well, we're going to be coming into the Christmas season too, and we already know that Christmas Chronicles 2 is coming out.
Yeah,
so
that'll have to be on the list.
That's going to be an automatic pick when we get to that point. Yeah, December we usually we don't even do random numbers. We just pick some holiday themed movies.
And there's a bunch of movies that are going to be coming out directly to streaming around that then too. So you may want to consider doing something, current.
Yeah. We can definitely do that, because why not? Like, we have a lot more avenues for direct streaming that is free. So.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, cool.
All right. Well, that pretty much wraps up this evening then. So, folks, we will be back in 2 weeks. That will be on the 9th of November. That will be after the election. So we hope everyone is has a good election day and is safe and sane. And, it's weird to say that you have to be safe on election day. I don't remember a year where I've ever had to say that. But given everything that's going on, we want everyone to just use common sense. And if tempers flare and things get a little crazy, just take a few moments to calm yourself and think, WWC. What would Colin do? That's what WWCD. What would Colin do? That's what we want you to think.
We're gonna have those Live Strong type bracelets with that on there. in the PTR Radio store.
Yep.
Soon.
We're gonna have a little cherub with it underneath, a little placard you can put on the back of your car. You know, we don't need a fish. We just need a little cherub, a little cherubic one. You know, we'll start making those. So, but you know, obviously there's not going to be any outings for us, but we'll be back, and who knows what else will be on before then. But keep an eye on our social media channels at PTR Radio, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, etc. I am on Twitch now. Maybe I'll start streaming some of my gaming. I am going to start into Rocket League. Actually, I actually downloaded the game, and who knows? Maybe I'll start playing. Colin, you going to play Rocket League with me? You going to be on Steam?
I mean, I have it, but I make it a rule not to play any cooperative games where other people are involved, because it puts too much pressure on me to be there.
How about pinball? I play that too. That's not very cooperative.
No, that's not very cooperative.
No.
I do prefer pinball.
I like pinball. There's not many boards on Steam, though, but I do like pinball. We can play Space Cadet. We could just put the boards right next to each other and just stream that. You know? Just play against each other in Space Cadet. Mike, maybe we do that. Maybe we do a 3-way Space Cadet challenge one night.
Well, you know, it's funny. I was actually thinking if we come up with one of these things on Instagram, we could actually host a watch party. Is it Instagram or Netflix that you could do a watch party where we could...
Netflix does watch parties where you can watch a movie.
All right, so we might be able to do one of these and do like a watch party together during a show. Maybe you know, maybe we do that for one of the Christmas weeks.
Yeah,
we could do a watch party where we watch one of the Christmas movies. Well, wait, could we do that on air?
I don't know. I don't know if we can do that on air.
I don't know if that violates TC.
As long as we don't actually play the audio from the movie on our stream.
Okay, that's a problem. How are we going to do a freaking movie review if we're not playing the audio to follow along?
Well,
everybody watching would also be following along with their own copy.
Yeah, I wonder how many people can be on. How many people can be on a watch party? Maybe we just make it a public watch party, and we just invite everybody to watch, and we just put our. I can make it so just our. Yeah. I can make it so just our. Yeah, I can probably wire something up. So. Yeah, I bet we can do something. I
mean, I'd like to do that with one of the Christmas ones, like I said. Maybe we do that with Christmas Chronicles 2.
Yeah.
Because that would be a fun one to watch with listeners, I think.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. We'll have to see. So I'll check that out. Netflix watch party. I'll check it out, and we'll figure out what we can do.
Yep.
But we'll try that and see what we can do. So, yeah, I'm sure we can do something. So, but we'll figure that out, and we'll let everybody know. So that'll be our Christmas present to all the listeners. So,
because we're cheap.
Yep, super cheap, super cheap. So, all right, folks. That said, otherwise we'll see you on the 9th. I'm Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I am Mike the Ape Man.
Stick a fork in us, folks. We are done. Later.